Songs for the Deaf is the third studio album by American rock band Queens of the Stone Age. Released on August 27, 2002, the album features Foo Fighters and former Nirvana member Dave Grohl as a guest drummer. Like their other albums, Songs for the Deaf has a large number of guest musicians, a signature of the band's releases. The album garnered critical acclaim, and the band earned its first gold record certification in the United States, after selling 986,000 copies. 1 million copies of the album were sold in Europe, earning the band a platinum certification from the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry in 2008. Songs for the Deaf is loosely considered a concept album, taking the listener on a drive from Los Angeles to Joshua Tree while tuning into radio stations from towns along the way, such as banning on the song God Is in the Radio, and Chino Hills, California. Overview and background. Contributors. Songs for the Deaf was the first Queens of the Stone Age album that featured Dave Grohl of Nirvana and Foo Fighters on drums, who also toured with the band. He replaced the previous drummer, Gene Trautman, who started working on other projects. Grohl had been a keen admirer of Queens of the Stone Age since the band opened for Foo Fighters on tour and originally wanted to appear on Rated R. He joined Queens of the Stone Age in October 2001 when he received a phone call from Josh Homme, with whom he had been friends since 1992, while Homme was the guitarist for Kiss. Grohl admitted that he had not drummed for a long time and added that fronting a band was tiring. Grohl put Foo Fighters on temporary hiatus, delaying their upcoming album One by One to October 22, 2002 because of touring duties with Queens of the Stone Age in support of the album. Grohl's first performance with the band occurred at March 7, 2002 at the Troubadour, Los Angeles, and his last performance was at the Fuji Rock Festival on July 28, 2002. He returned to the Foo Fighters soon after, initially being replaced by former Blink of the Star and Failure drummer Keller Scott before Danzig drummer Joey Castillo was eventually announced as his long-term replacement in August 2002. Songs for the Deaf marks the last appearances on a Queens of the Stone Age record of former members Brendan McNichol and Gene Trautman. The album also included the first musical contribution to a Queens of the Stone Age album by multi-instrumentalists Natasha Schneider and Alan Johannes. E.O.D. White reportedly auditioned for the band in 2002 but lost out to Troy Van Leeuwen, who joined the band as a touring member in support of Songs for the Deaf. White did appear on the album, however, making a brief cameo appearance as a radio DJ. Schneider, Johannes, and Van Leeuwen would subsequently become full-time Queens of the Stone Age members and contribute to the follow-up album Lullabies to Paralyze, released in 2005. Another change in personnel came with the arrival of producer Eric Valentine, who had previously worked on a pair of Dwarves albums with Nick Oliveri. Valentine was actually a requirement by Interscope and did not do his job according to Homme, who commented that, "Valentine just recorded it actually, it says production, he was only there to record the beginning of it." Valentine did sessions with the band during the initial recording period in October and November 2001, but they were unhappy with his work and later re-recorded the album in spring 2002. Rounding out the lineup was singer-songwriter Mark Lanegan, formerly of Screaming Trees, a band that Homme had toured with previously. Production and release. In September 2002, Josh Homme explained the band's goals with the release of the album. In the same month, Nick Oliveri explained the band's aims in an interview with retail company HMV. Between them, Homme and Oliveri had different opinions on the usage of fake radio excerpts between tracks on the album, the former believing it gave the album fluidity. According to Oliveri, "They are a jibe at how a lot of stations play the same thing over and over. We don't get played on the radio, so I figure we should talk shit about them." Several songs that appeared on the album were reworked forms of tracks previously recorded and released in the Desert Sessions, a side project of Josh Homme with various guest collaborators. "You Think I Ain't Worth a Dollar, But I Feel Like a Millionaire" was the opening track of Volume 5, Poetry for the Masses, with vocals originally performed by Mario Lalli instead of Oliveri. Hangin' Tree first appeared on Volume 7, Gypsy Marches. Also, both A Song for the Deaf and Go With The Flow were previously performed as early as 2001, with the former having very different lyrics and vocals completely by Mark Lanegan. The album was initially planned for release on August 13, 2002, but was eventually postponed for 2 weeks. Release and reception. Songs for the Deaf was Queens of the Stone Age's breakout album and garnered the band international recognition. Upon its worldwide release in late August 2002, the album would peak at the top 20 on most of the charts it appeared on, reaching the top 10 in Australia, Belgium, Norway and the UK, the top 20 Finland, Italy, Sweden and the US, as well as the top 30 in Denmark, France and Ireland. Songs for the Deaf received critical acclaim and is often cited as the band's best album to date. The album is aggregated as a total score of 89 out of 100 on Metacritic, making the album the third highest rated on the site from 2002. Entertainment Weekly called it the year's best hard rock album, giving it an A. Splendid said the bottom line is that QOTSA turns in another genre demolishing, hard as titanium album and Songs for the Deaf. This is not your father's metal. It's better. Mojo listed the album as the year's third best, while Play Louder and Spin placed it at fourth. NME placed the album as the sixth best, with the 3 singles each making the magazine's Tracks of the Year list over the course of 2002-2003. Kerrang! Rated the album at number 1 on its Best Albums of 2002 list. Music critic Stephen Hayden called the album the greatest hard rock record of the 21st century. The album met with great success, earning the band's first gold certification in the US on January 27, 2003, shifting over 500,000 copies, as well as platinum certification in the UK on September 20, 2002, with sales exceeding 100,000 of units sold, and platinum status in Canada. As of June 2007, the total amount of sold copies in the US is estimated at 1,186,000 according to Nielsen SoundScan. The album received 2 Best Hard Rock Performance Grammy nominations for singles No One Knows, and Go With The Flow. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of its Hottest 100 poll, Australian radio station Triple J ran a Hottest 100 of the last 20 years poll in June 2013. Songs that were released between 1994 and 2013 were eligible for the poll, and No One Knows was voted into 11th position. Accolades. The information regarding accolades attributed to Songs for the Deaf is adapted from acclaimedmusic.net. Artwork. The cover art for the US double LP version of the album is quite different from the CD version, featuring a red Q on a black background with no other text. It was released on red vinyl. The UK vinyl version cover is the same as the CD cover. The dashboard interior with superimposed logos is that of a Fiat 124 Sports Spider, a 1960s or 1980s mass markets Italian sports car. The person on the album disc is musician Dave Grohl, who performs on the album. There were also 3 different album covers that were made for the CD version of Songs for the Deaf. All of the interior artwork for each of the 3 versions is the same, but there were covers printed in red, magenta, and orange. The most common copy of the album sleeve is the red cover. Track listing. All tracks written by Joshua Hume and Nick Oliveri, except where noted. Lead vocals by Joshua Hume except where noted. Limited edition bonus DVD track listing, Monsters in the Parasol, No One Knows, Lost Art of Keeping a Secret, Quick to the Pointless, Queens of the Fucking Stone Age, The Real Song for the Deaf. The Real Song for the Deaf, which is essentially track 0, is located in the pre-gap of track 1 as a hidden track. The hidden track can be found by rewinding the first track to roughly -133. A voice comes on and says, "Huh? What?" and a pattern of low-frequency bass plays and modulates for the rest of the song. This track, as well as being omitted from some pressings of the album, is difficult to listen to on all but conventional CD players. Most software CD players do not allow rewinding of this nature, and most MP3 ripping software will not include the data. The iTunes Store includes this track as part of the entire album, with the US Store including it as a separate track, and the UK Store and Spotify including it as part of You Think I Ain't Worth a Dollar, But I Feel Like a Millionaire. The track was not hidden on the album's cassette tape release, playing Before You Think I Ain't Worth a Dollar, But I Feel Like a Millionaire. Notes: the intro to track number 4, A Song for the Dead, is an homage to Black Flag. The drum rhythm that takes off after the intro solo is lifted directly from the Black Flag song Slip It In. Following a period of silence after the end of track number 13, A Song for the Deaf, a short hidden outtake of Feel Good Hit of the Summer, from the band's previous album Rated R, is played with all vocals replaced with deranged laughter. The song was similarly reprised on Rated R following the track In the Fade on that album. A second version of Gonna Leave You dubbed Te Voy a Deja was recorded with Nick Oliveri singing in Spanish, and is available as a B-side on the UK version of the No One Knows CD single. A cover of Roky Ericsson's Bloody Hammer appears on the US double LP released by Ipecac Recordings. Initial pressings of the album came with a bonus DVD, which featured behind-the-scenes footage of the group recording album, live performances, and interview footage. The UK and Japanese version of the limited edition album includes the cover Everybody's Gonna Be Happy, originally written and performed by the Kinks, and a live version of The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret recorded at the Troubadour in Los Angeles on March 7, 2002. A limited tour edition of the album was released on June 2, 2007, with a second disc of 5 songs recorded live at the Ancienne Belgique in Brussels. The band's subsequent studio album, Lullabies to Paralyze, got its name from a line in Mosquito's song. The song You Think I Ain't Worth a Dollar But I Feel Like a Millionaire, often shortened to Millionaire, has been featured in the video game Tony Hawk's Underground, the single-player trailer for Battlefield, Bad Company 2, the movie Project X, the film XXX, and commercials for T-Mobile. The songs You Think I Ain't Worth a Dollar But I Feel Like a Millionaire, and Song for the Dead were featured in the intro of the video game Jak X. The song No One Knows was featured in Guitar Hero Smash Hits and Guitar Hero. The appearance in the latter is a cover version. It also appears in Rock Band 3. The song God Is in the Radio contains a backmask message by Josh Homme, I've been dying to watch you. Look over your left shoulder in the apartment. I'm in Eric's room. You're inside my hands. This is your God. Personnel: the following people contributed to Songs for the Deaf, chart positions, certifications, references. External links: Songs for the Deaf at AllMusic.